really watching with these evil spirits, and I really got to start listening to my higher self. I swear, they keep telling me to tune these motherfuckers out, and I don't because they're so fucking funny. And that's the thing that gets you. That's how they rope you in. But anyways, with that being said, I was able to, get my timelines, my original stuff back, my consciousness. Um, your timelines are tied to your consciousness. With that being said, a roach entity attachment called Pallet Numbre, the roach entity attachment of came bubbling in and acting like it was going to protect me and my blessings. And it held on tight to my timelines, not just that, my blessings as well, but to my detriment. I noticed that him and another entity attachment called He Kate were designed to basically keep me from getting in touch with and being in contact with my higher and highest self, and ultimately replacing it with these entities. With that being said, when I woke up in the middle of the night, I noticed that I had to do a little bit of spiritual work. These things are really fucking with me, really, really bad. But anyways, with that being said, I woke up and I noticed that my consciousness in the back of my head was damn near fucking eaten up. When you have Pallet Numbre as a roach entity attachment or any other roach entity attachment, they make you act crazy in the physical. Not just that, they throw off your thoughts and they disjoint you. But with the ones that I'm dealing with, they're designed to erase your consciousness and fuck with your higher and highest self and replace them, and ultimately start fucking up with and fucking up your money and your access to it, access to your blessings. In this case, they wanted to ingratiate themselves with me. You have to really, really watch that by acting as if they were protecting my blessings. And I got very, very dangerously close to losing my higher and my highest selves. Very, very dangerously close. They had me attacking my own spiritual team and all of that. And so with that being said, I kept hearing on the other side my ancestors screaming and hollering in pain. And so I couldn't quite grasp, and so I just knew instinctively it's because they were being housed in the hell realm that is inside of this Pallet Numbre entity. See, within all of us, we have the soul pieces of our ancestors in us, in our consciousness, tied to our spiritual DNA and all of that. And that's another thing, too, I'm going to get to. So anyways, with that being said, for the past couple of days, I've been doing well with money. I've been getting money and all of that and everything else. But I noticed that the more I got it, the more I was being cut off from my true higher and highest self. That's very fucking demonic, the way this curse works and the way it goes. It's like literally the opposition gets set in place where damned if you do, damned if you don't, where you're forced to side with something that's really not on your side, that's going to fuck all over you. And my whole chief way of thinking was I really want to get back into that timeline and get back into that body where I had my blessings in which had gotten stolen from by that Rosie girl I was talking about, the white supremacist who took over my body on August 22nd, 2022, and replaced it with her soul, her consciousness, and all of that. And she threw both of my parents into a hell realm. But anyways, for the past couple of days, I noticed that I have been losing my abilities, my spiritual abilities. I have been feeling really, really weird, like dead inside, like totally empty and dead inside. So anyways, I noticed that a series of evil entities have been fucking with my spiritual DNA and setting it up to where, if I play like binaural beats or something like that, it works against me. I kept getting told that if I was to get that sage, like I got right now, I brought this from outside. Luckily, something had been telling me to get it for the past couple of days to get rid of these very, very negative spirits that I got attached to me, these roach attachments. Something was telling me that my blessings would get blocked and something adverse would happen. And so with that being said, yesterday I went ahead and got the sage. I kept getting downloads from my higher and highest selves that if I don't do this, like you see, when you see people on the street talking to themselves and all that holy, it's because they've been cut off from their higher and highest selves. You don't want to be like that. When you start seeing people talking to themselves, they're cut off usually from their higher and highest selves. Their higher and highest selves, which live in your head, don't want to have anything to do with you at that point. And so I came to the realization of what's going on is that these things are trying as much as possible to stay attached to me so that they can feed off of me and keep me mired and stuck in misery. And then ultimately, the ultimate goal was to remove me from my higher and highest self. And that's not something that you want. Hey, that's a very dangerous situation to be in. And they were holding my own blessings over my head. So I didn't feel good about it. So I went ahead and I got the sage. Something was telling me get the sage because if you don't get the sage, they're gonna start fucking with your DNA, the spiritual DNA, to block you from being able to use that, and so forth and so on. So I got it, and so while I was lying down, I could feel the Pallet Numbre entity inside of my crown chakra fucking with my spiritual DNA, trying to remove my higher and highest self from it, my connection to them. So I instantly removed it and I started playing a guided meditation immediately to try to bring it back and reverse that. I plan on going to the park later on and doing, listening to guided meditations and all of that, and burning sage, so that I don't get stuck with this shit. This is very demonic what's happening to me. I mean, it's gotten down to the core where they're fucking with my spiritual DNA. When something is fucking with your spiritual DNA, that's serious. That's not something that you want. Something that's trying to cut you off from source. So I immediately started playing that guided meditation and trying to invoke my true higher and highest self. They also had an entity attachment, which was, I'm going to tell you this right now, there's a young lady that watched me who I woke a long time ago. Your higher self was turned into, or your highest self was turned into my higher self. And it's supposed to take on a personification of the goddess Hecate, when in fact it actually is not. It's like I said before, it's a conspiracy of very evil, foul entities and spirits that are around me that like to feed off of negativity and all of that and don't want you to break free of them. And they're trying to do everything possible. I just felt my ancestral DNA come out to block me from my connection to my true higher and highest self and so forth and so on. I just felt the Rosie, roach entity attachment, pull out my ancestral DNA just now. What I ultimately realized was that the whole point of that Pallet Numbre entity holding on to my timelines is that his whole intention was to keep me stuck in the roach realm aspect of it, so that when I die, I become a sacrifice. My blessings weren't going to get blocked, but me and my ancestors would have to be a sacrifice to him, and that was not going to happen. I'm too powerful for that, and I'm too fucking smart for that. That's why I commenced the process of immediately removing them. So with that being said, the first spirit, so with that being said, you know, I'm trying my hardest to break free of that shit. Yeah, I keep feeling something very, very evil fuck with my ancestral DNA. You have it all throughout your body, all throughout your body. So with that being said, these things came very, very close, very sadistically, sinisterly close by getting down and fucking with my DNA, with my consciousness and all of that, to possessing me. They got very, very close to possessing me. Like right now, I'm operating from my soul consciousness, which makes it easier for me to be able to get fucked with by these things. You know, during this period, I haven't been allowed to heal. I haven't been allowed to... Hey, man, how you doing?
I thought what I could do...
Came very, very close. See, like the 3 roach attachments that I have attached to my nasal cavity, chiefly 2 of them. 2 of them consigned by Rosie. They wanted to put me in a timeline where I would be forced to make a deal with the devil, so to speak, with roach attachments, where they could feed off of me for the rest of their lives. And I wasn't going to let that happen. And I saw the writing on the wall, because for the past, couple of days, weeks and all of that, I've been having my ancestors around me, and I noticed for some strange, weird reason, they weren't around. And I felt that. And it felt empty, and I felt empty. So with that being said, you have to be very, very careful of these evil entities that surround us. Never make a deal with them, never make a peace treaty with them. I came soberly and sinisterly close to losing access to my higher and highest selves. That's not something that you want. Your higher and highest selves are who you are. The minute you lose them, you lose your own identity.